Hello, welcome to my channel, another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg. Today I'm going to be giving you my TBR for July's event, BookTube at War. This was an event created by Michael K. Vaughan, inspired by a commenter, DDB. And the idea of this event is to read books about war. It was initially going to be limited to novels, but it has been expanded to include nonfiction. That's all there is to this prompt or this event. Read a book about war. I have decided to go whole hog and over the top. But I am going to be focusing on just one war, World War II. And my idea is to read a book from 7 major participants, plus the Holocaust and the Asian Pacific. So that gives me 9 books to read in July. That is doable for me, but some of these books are going to be doozies. So what am I going to try to read? The first book, which will be from the US, and I don't know if this is the order that I'm going to be reading them in, but the first nation is the US, and it is The Dirty Dozen by E.M. Nathanson. This is a novel published in 1965. I do believe that the author was serving in World War II. And it is, as I said, a savagely explosive novel of hell and glory, and 12 GIs forged into a single weapon of death. The premise of this is that there are 12 convicts, and they are sent out to do a mission in World War II that can only be accomplished by them. It is a famous movie, and anyone who knows my channel is going to know this, that I'm not going to watch the movie. I'm just going to read the book. The second nation, of course, is England, and I'm going to read Bomber by Len Deighton. This is a novel of a bomber crew going out to drop some bombs, and it was much praised by Criminali. And as I said, it is June 31st, 1943, and it's about an RAF bomber crew. That's really all I know, although it includes a lot of other things going on besides the bomber crew. I think it encompasses a lot of the war. And this is one book that I'm really looking forward to reading. The next book will be France. It is going to be an audiobook, and it is The Snow Was Dirty by Simenon. I have read a previous translation of this book, and I wanted to revisit it. It is about 19-year-old Frank, thug, thief, son of a brothel owner, and it is about occupied France and what he gets into over one cold winter when the Germans are ruling Paris. And of course, it is a crime novel, and I guess it is historical because Simenon did live through World War II. So that is another one I'm really looking forward to. As I said, it's not very long, so I can knock that out in a couple of days. The second, or should I say, the fourth nation is Poland. And I have 2 choices. One is going to be John Hersey, The Wall. This is about the ghetto uprising in 1943. I have Mila 18 by Leon Uris. Again, this is about the ghetto rising in 1943. I have not decided which one of these 2 books I'm going to read yet. Ultimately, I am going to be getting the audiobook version of one of these. The Wall is available from a public library. Right now, it is checked out, and it's got about a 2-week waiting period. I don't know if that audiobook will be available from the public library when I'm ready to read it or listen to it, however you want to say that. If it is not available, I will probably go ahead and get Mila 18 from Audible. I have some Audible credits. The reason I would not spend an Audible credit on this is that I can technically get this from the library. This one is not available from the library, so if I wanted to listen to the audiobook, I'm going to have to do it. And I am very fascinated about the ghetto uprising in Poland. I've heard about it. I really don't know a whole lot of information about it. So I hope that one of these two books will illuminate me to what happened in Poland. Next is Germany, and that is going to be Heinrich Boll's The Train Was on Time. This is Heinrich Boll's first novel. He did win the Nobel Prize in Literature, so he is a very famous German author who lived through World War II. It is the story of a 20-year-old private on a troop train going across the German countryside to the Eastern Front. And it is towards the end of the war, and he knows that the war is lost. And it is his thoughts and musings as he is traveling across this train. Again, I said it is an ebook for me, and it is another short novel. It is less than 200 pages, so that one will be pretty easy to read. The next one is going to be Italy, and I'm going to read Italo Calvino's The Path to the Nest, or The Path to the Spider's Nests. And this is Calvino's first novel, written when he was 23. It is the story of a young boy named Pin. He is a cobbler's apprentice, and he gets involved in some shenanigans with the Germans and the partisans. So that is another one that I am kind of looking forward to. Calvino has written some very famous books, such as If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler. So this is his first novel. They said it's pretty good. And it's another short one. It is going to be an audiobook for me. Next will be The Holocaust, and it's going to be a reread. It is Night by Eli Weisel. This is an autobiography of the author's time in Auschwitz. Again, a reread for me, and I wanted to include something about the Holocaust in World War II because it's an important part of what happened there. And so I'm going to be revisiting this book. I have it on Kindle. Then we have The Asian Pacific. I am going to be rereading one of my favorite books on audio, and that is King Rat by James Clavell. This is the story of British, Germans, and Australians in a Japanese prisoner of war camp during World War II. And it is just one of the best novels that I have ever read. I read it first in high school, and then about 10 years ago, I listened to the audiobook version. And again, I'm going to be listening to the audiobook version again. I have been thinking of trying to find a Kindle version or a paperback version. Maybe I will switch and read that, depending on my other reading schedules. But as of now, it's going to be an audiobook. I have been withholding one book for comment because it is the book that I don't know if I'll be able to finish. This is Life and Fate by Vasily Grossman. It is supposedly the best novel of World War II. It is translated from the Russian, and it is about the siege of Stalingrad. The thing about this book is that the print is small, and it's 870 pages long, and it is not going to be a quick read. I would have to devote a very long time to finish it in this month. And with my other reading schedules and BookTubes at War and other books that I may want to read, because I may want to read non-war books during July. So this is one that I really want to read. I don't know if I'll get time to it. And there's another problem. This is actually the second half of a novel that the author wrote. The first half is called Stalingrad. I do have that on Kindle. It was actually published after this. And that one is 1,100 pages long. Yeah, the Russians write really freaking long books. And so I am torn. Do I want to try to invest the time to read Life and Fate? Or should I start with Stalingrad, which is chronologically the story that comes before this? So that is one of the reasons why I think I may not get to Life and Fate or Stalingrad, even though they're supposed to be just really good novels. And depending on how I go with this, I have some alternatives that I may add. This one is Sweet Francaise. This is by Irene Nemirovsky. No, I'm sure I did not get that right. This is set in France. It is in 1940, and the Germans have just invaded, and the characters are Jewish, and it's talking about how do they get out of France after the German invasion. Fortunately, I can also get this on audiobook from the library. So I just may get that audiobook and put the paperback aside. Another possibility is The Beautiful Mrs. Seidenman by Andrzej. No, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this Polish name. It is the story of a Jewish woman who can pass for a Polish citizen and a wife of a Polish officer, but she gets ratted out. So yeah, I already have my Polish novel, either the Leon Uris or the John Hersey. Some people may say that those authors aren't Polish, so they really shouldn't count for my reading a book from Poland during World War II. So this would be my authentic book from Poland because it is translated from the Polish, and it was written by a man who lived through World War II. So that is my TBR, or my pile of possibilities for BookTube at War. Thank you for watching, and keep on reading.